One of the first series of videos I ever did on my channel were playthroughs, which on this channel at least, we play through each expansion's worth of content in World of Warcraft in pretty much chronological order, and they are supposed to kind of be fully immersive, quite relaxing, story-based videos where we go through various zones with different characters, we meet different NPCs, we do different sorts of things, and we kind of learn the story of World of Warcraft while playing the game. And although it's been a while since I uploaded a playthrough video on my channel, today we kind of have an excuse to make like a one-off playthrough video, just like a standalone episode, if you will. The reason for this is that along the way, during the Worgen starting area questline, you will complete a quest that rewards you with Lord Walden's top hat. Now, Lord Walden's top hat used to be just a regular head slot item, meaning that you could equip it on the character that you earned it on, but you weren't necessarily able to add it to a collection journal for your other characters to transmog it. However, they have recently changed this in patch 10.0.5 to make Lord Walden's top hat a cosmetic item, meaning that once you've completed the quest, you simply add it to your collections journal. That way, all of your characters can transmog into it, no matter which armor type they are. So today we're jumping back into our old-fashioned playthrough style video to learn a little bit about the history of the Worgen, kind of learn about them as a race, and then eventually along the way earn our Lord Walden's top hat cosmetic item. So without any further ado, let's get started.
Led by their indomitable king, Gen Greymane, the proud citizens of Gilneas once stood with the Alliance against the vile, orcish horde that sought to conquer all of Lordaeron. Gilneas survived, but in the chaotic years following the Second War, the mighty kingdom drew ever inward. Distrustful of their former allies, the Gilneans erected a mighty wall at the borders of their land, closing off their nation and their hearts from an ever-darkening world. Now, many years later, as the seemingly unstoppable undead scourge marches across Lordaeron, human civilization once again teeters on the brink of destruction. As war and terror close in all around them, the citizens of Gilneas are faced with one terrible truth. Their mighty wall cannot hold back the dead for much longer. And worse, rumors of a new threat have arisen within the kingdom's borders, of feral nightmare creatures that walk upright as men, but hunt and howl as wolves.
Alright, so here we are. This is our main character for this little one-off episode. This is Lita. She is a Worgen rogue, and we start off the Gilneas storyline in Merchant Square with a quest from Lieutenant Walden called Lockdown. What are you still doing here, citizen? Haven't you heard? The city's under complete lockdown. Go see Lieutenant Walden. He'll give you further directions for evacuation. Simple enough. We run around the Worgen starting area to find Lieutenant Walden. Deep claw marks run through the man's corpse. Something's amiss. The lieutenant appears to have died from severe wounds. The prince might want to hear this news. You hear the sound of fighting coming from the market. It's you again. Looks like you're not one to hide in the face of danger. Very well then. We need you, Lita. There are Worgen everywhere. All hell breaks loose. Worgen, my father had warned me that Archmage Aragel's creations had run amok. But where are they coming from? I suppose it doesn't matter. Help us make quick work of them. We'll show them what we Gilneans are made of. Evacuate the Merchant Square. The civilians aren't safe here anymore, not even inside their homes. We're doing our best to stop the Worgen from getting indoors, but their numbers are too great. Help us by evacuating the civilian homes. My father's army in the prison district will be able to better protect them. And I see one more quest over here with Gwen Armstead.
What can I do for you?
Salvage the supplies. Listen, Lita, we can't let our supplies get destroyed. With Gilneas walled off from the outside world, We won't last through winter if we lose much more of our stock. Please help me salvage what you can.
Long live Greymane.
Okay. So for now we stay in this area. We need to fight off some Worgen. And we also need to evacuate some homes and gather some supplies. I believe to evacuate the houses, you just click on these illuminated doors. Like so. I feel like Worgen are a very underrepresented race in WoW. I feel like not many players like them, but I've always quite enjoyed the Worgen starting area. It's very unique, and it's kind of themed around sort of British architecture. As you'll notice, Worgen speak with British accents, and this is kind of very reminiscent of old-timey London, which I quite appreciate. Alright, we're ready to hand our quests in. Excellent. I'll make sure these get taken to a safe place.
Farewell.
Right, we've hit level 3, and we also have learned to use stealth, which is very useful as a rogue. It's no use, Lita. They are not letting up. Good job, Lita. Thanks to you, many Gilneans will live to see another day. Royal orders. It's time for you to leave, Lita. Go to the military district with the other civilians. Check in with Gwen Armstead when you cross the bridge to the southeast. See if everyone's okay. I will stay here with the guards and cover the civilians' retreat. Go now. That is an order. Old divisions. Lord Darius Crowley has been called many things. Rebel, traitor, terrorist. Before the Civil War, I called him friend. I never blamed him for leading an insurrection against me. His land and people were separated from Gilneas by a stone wall, but we had no choice. Regardless, Crowley is exactly the type of person we need now. Enter Stoneward Prison and ask Captain Broderick about Crowley's whereabouts. I'd send my own men, but there's still bad blood. While you're at it, fine by me if King Greymane wants you to risk your life to rescue a known traitor. Do me a favour and do something useful while you're out there and kill these cursed flea bags. Alright, we've killed all of our Worgen. Now we can make our way to Captain Broderick.
Greymane will lead us to victory.
Greymane wants to save Crowley. Has he gone mad?
Watch your back.
The prison rooftop. I don't understand why the king wants to waste time saving his hide, but if you want to risk your life, then be my guest. Crowley and his men are holed up upstairs, probably plotting against the king as we speak.
Farewell.
Here is Crowley with his men.
We do what we must.
Greymane's right. These beasts do not give a damn about our politics. Gilneas needs to stand together. By the skin of his teeth. One of those mangy flea bags got Dempsey real good. We cannot move him until we stabilize his bleeding. Give us a hand holding back these mongrels. A couple of minutes is all we need, sister. So now we've got to deal with waves of Worgen. And as you can see, as we progress through the Worgen questing area, the idea is that we are slowly but surely being overrun by more and more infected people that turn into Worgen. There we are, we survived.
We do what we must.
We did it, Lita. Thanks to you, a good man has survived. Brothers in arms. Listen, Lita. For the first time since the Civil War, I agree with Greymane. Now is the time to put aside our quarrel. It sure doesn't look like these beasts care much whether you're a rebel or a royal. Send word back to Greymane. My men will join his. There's a safe house not far from here, in Josiah's cellar. My lads stashed some heavy artillery there. Tell our king that my arsenals are now at his disposal. While you're at it, if I hadn't seen you kill a few of these mangy things with my own eyes, I think you did not complete the task I asked of you. It looks like we're hardly putting a dent in their numbers.
For country, for family.
Rebel arsenals, in my own city. What in the bloody hell is Crowley up to?
We will have justice for the fallen.
The rebel lord's arsenal. The arsenal Crowley speaks of is in the cellar of a building just west of here. It is unnerving that artillery was smuggled inside the city by my enemies, yet it might end up saving Gilnean lives today. Find Josiah Avery and requisition the rebel artillery. We will put the weapons to good use.
Stand strong, hero.
Okay, the cellar is just here. And here is Josiah Avery.
You a chipper-looking one.
Don't look at me. Leave me alone.
Watch your back.
Okay, we've been bitten by a Worgen. It's probably nothing, but it sure stings a little. And we've gained a debuff. Worgen bite. You were bitten by a Worgen. The wound looks minor. Maybe it'll go away with time?
Make it quick.
And Josiah was shot by Lorna Crowley. He turned into one of them, didn't he? How do we even begin to fight an enemy that can do this to us? My father's arsenal's certainly a good start, I suppose. Worgen are hiding in the alleys ahead. Take one of my mastiffs to find them more easily. We're going to need to clear the way ahead if we're going to move these cannons above ground.
This mastiff will help you find.
I've also gone ahead and equipped our rogue with some heirlooms just to make her a bit powerful, help the questing go a bit faster, so she gets some nice equip bonuses from certain items she's wearing, which will just help our damage.
What is it?
From the shadows. Excellent. I'll start rounding up some help to get these cannons positioned.
Make it quick.
Message to Greymane. It's time, Lita. We'll take it from here. Tell King Greymane that my father's arsenal will be at his disposal. There's more than enough firepower here to blow the Worgen from here to the North Sea. We're left with very few choices, Lita. What we do next will be a critical decision.
We can make it past the gates into Dusky. Safe. The eastern mountains are virtually impassable.
Sacrifices. You don't have to do this, Lita. You've done more than enough already. But if you decide to stay, I'd be a fool to turn you away. My men have fortified their position inside the cathedral and are ready for what comes next. I am about to head there and take as many of these flea-ridden devils with me as I can. You're welcome to come along for the ride. So we need to mount Crowley's horse and round up 30 Bloodfang Stalkers. We have one ability called Throw Torch, dealing a small amount of damage to Worgen and getting their attention.
As many of them as we can. Every Worgen chasing us, one less Worgen.
They'll never catch us, you blasted mongrels!
There we are.
What can I do for you?
Brace yourself, Lita. Here they come.
Let the light of the new moon guide
By blood and ash, the time has come. If we're going to put a dent in their numbers, the time is now. We have the position. We have the firepower. All that remains to be seen is whether we have the courage. And I sure don't see a coward standing in front of me.
Long live Greymane.
So we mount one of the cannons and aim the reticle and start clearing out as many of these as we can. If we get any just like up here right in front of us, we can't quite aim at them, but we let the other characters fight them toe to toe, so to speak. Like so.
We do what we must.
We've given them everything we have, yet still they come. Do not worry, Lita. We'll slay many more before today is over. Last stand. We've got a good choke point here, Lita. Feel free to say a prayer if that's your sort of thing. Take courage and let's kill these mutts. As you can see, now we have heirlooms. We are dealing significantly more damage.
We do what we must.
They've stopped coming. No, Lita, that's not a good thing.
Look at what you've become. Those cursed beasts. They've left you nothing more than just another wretched mongrel. Do you even remember what you did to your friends? Your kind, haunting the wilds unchecked, until we found you. They've kept you alive because they still believe you can be saved. To which I must ask, is there even a shred of humanity left within you? Perhaps we will find out soon enough.
Alright, so the Worgen in that cutscene that was locked in the cellar was us. We have finally given in to the Worgen bite we received earlier on, and we have been shackled up by King Greymane.
Hail, champion.
Last chance at humanity. I need you to pull through, Lita. This dosage is strong enough to kill a horse, but I know you. I know what you're made of. You'll be fine. Trust me, I know what you're going through. Now drink up and close your eyes. Among humans again. So Crennan's potion did not kill you. Well, I suppose that means the human inside of you is in control then. I guess I won't be shooting you after all. At least, not yet. Go speak to Crennan Aranas and give him the good news. He's in charge of the house where we keep your kind. Just remember, Lita, I've got my eye on you. You so much as try anything funny and you'll get a bullet between the eyes. In need of ingredients. Ah yes, the effects of the curse cannot ever be fully cured, as far as we know. With treatment, however, your mind will remain yours, and not that of a wild animal. We are fortunate that the treatment worked on you. Normally, I can only treat recent infections. We'll need to continue your medication if we're going to have you reverse the curse. I will need a mandrake essence to brew another batch of my serum for you. You will find a crate stashed beneath a shed southwest of town. The crate has been smashed and the vials inside of it appear to have been broken. And here we have a slain watchman with the quest Invasion. A long knife with a skull ornament on its hilt sticks out of the militiaman's ribs. As you look around for clues, you spot a pair of savage-looking warships at the shore. Gilneas is being invaded. Bring word back to Duskhaven's mayor, Gwen Armstead. And we have a Forsaken assassin.
I got a bad feeling.
Great news, Lita. I've sent the remaining militia to the shore to meet the Forsaken force head-on.
Watch your back.
The Allen Storm Cellar. Lord Godfrey is leading the attack near the Forsaken's landing area. See what you can do to help us keep the Forsaken back. I've been told Godfrey has commandeered the Storm Cellar in the Allen farmstead, far to the west. Seek him there.
Long live Greymane.
Unleash the beast. I'm not going to lie, Lita. I don't like the idea of having Worgen among our ranks. Who knows how long till Crennan's concoction wears off and you're trying to chomp one of our heads off. Until that time, however, we can make ample use of your ferocity. I want you to go out in the battlefield and kill as many of those Forsaken as you can, in as brutal a way as you can. We're going to put the fear of Worgen in them, Lita. 2 by sea. The Forsaken catapults are kicking the snot out of us, Lita, and even if we do take care of them, they've 2 ships with rows of cannons at the ready. I have a plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You're the stone in this plan. Take out the machinists manning the catapults. After this, use the catapults to launch yourself aboard the Forsaken ships. If your aim isn't terrible, you should be able to land safely. Once on board, go below decks and take care of each ship's captain. Good luck, Rogue. Let's try landing ourselves on one of these ships. Like so. And we need to go downstairs and kill the captain. While we're on board the boats, we may as well kill the rest of the Forsaken we need as well. There's one. Of all the starting areas for each race, the Worgen do get a very dynamic, very interesting story to play through. Lots of interesting quests. Lots of starting areas are quite linear and very simple because they are obviously kind of introductions to the game for any players who are maybe quite new to the game. But Worgen get lots of cool things they can do. And their starting experience is just very long, which is also really cool because they get like a nice fleshed out story for the player to follow if they want to. Leader of the pack. Excellent work so far, Lita. Our scouts have identified the leader of the Forsaken Ground Assault. One of Sylvanus' hand-picked Dark Rangers is overseeing the battlefront from the Walden house near the shore. Take this whistle and use it when you're close to her. I'll have my men let loose our attack mastiffs to take her down. Be careful, Lita. You don't want to engage her alone. Here she is. And when we are close enough, we will blow our mastiff whistle. In the meantime, we can deal with her foot soldiers. Wonderful. You did it, Lita. That should take the wind out of their sails. As the land shatters. What in the world was that, Lita? Those were not cannons or catapults, that is for sure. Go outside and see what is going on. To Greymane Manor. It's time for everyone to head to safety. That includes you, Lita. Head to Greymane Manor. The others will be there shortly. Don't worry about me. I'll make sure that everyone makes it out of here in one piece. Yes, even the few ferals we have in the pens. Once you get there, speak to Queen Greymane about the gravity of the situation.
Long live Greymane.
Here is Queen Mia Greymane.
Gilneas honors your service.
Lita, I've heard much about you. I understand you were crucial in my family's survival during the outbreak in Gilneas City.
The guilty will pay for their crimes.
The King's Observatory. You ought to speak to Gen. He's been locked up in his observatory ever since this ordeal started. I'm sure he's working on a plan for his people. He's a very stubborn individual.
Thank you for your service.
Exodus. We have no choice, Lita. We must move further inland. I don't like it one bit, but we're vulnerable here. Return to the stables below the manor. Let's get everybody on carriages and send them eastbound. I pray it's not too late.
The Alliance must endure.
I've been expecting you, Lita. Do not be alarmed. My name is Belisra. I am a priestess of the moon, a night elf. You might not know my people, but the destinies of our two races have been linked since the curse befell you. Losing your tail. You must have many questions, Lita, and they will be answered in time. I know why you're here and what you're looking for. I can't lead you there with the enemy tracking you. One of Sylvanus' scouts has been following your tracks. You can't lead the Forsaken to the place you seek. Take this talisman and walk along the road just north of here. Let the ranger lure you to her trap and use the power of the talisman to break free and counterattack. Okay, my talisman didn't work, so we're just going to have to wait for the freeze debuff to end. Now we can deal with the scout. Tal'Doran, the wild home. There are others like you, Lita, and they too were lost and confused. There is a place where you belong. Tal'Doran, the wild home, was once home to an order of druids who took the shape of wolves. It is there that you will find the answers you seek. It is also there that you will find someone who can offer guidance, an old friend. Neither human nor beast. It is time, Lita. This alchemy that has kept the beast inside you at bay will not last for long. The first cursed Worgen were night elf druids like our new allies. They, however, abandoned the balance that the rest of their kind embraced and allowed the beast to take over their minds. It is only fitting that their brethren be the ones that deliver us from the curse. Go, rogue, drink from the waters of Tal'Doran and make peace with yourself.
We do what we must.
It is done then, Lita. You are one of us now.
We will prevail.
Return to Stormglen. It will be a long time before our nation comes together again. The old political divisions pale in comparison to what divides us now. Yet if there was ever a time for us to come together and unite against a common enemy, it is now. And it is you, Lita, who have proven able to bridge the gap between our people. Return to Stormglen and tell them it is safe to go through the Blackwold on their way to Tempest's Reach. We will take care of any Forsaken who follow them. Alright, we have arrived back in Stormglen.
Ain't you a chipper looking one?
King Greymane gave me a brief rundown of the plan before he set off for the Blackwold. Doesn't make it sound any less crazy.
Good day.
Onwards and upwards. I will do as Darian asked and have our people move through the Blackwold. You ought to catch up with King Greymane. He and Crennan went into Tempest's Reach after Lord Godfrey confirmed survivors had made their dwelling there. Follow the road out of Stormglen into the mountains. I asked Crennan to wait for you at the bridge before Tempest's Reach.
Keep your chin up, eh?
Here is Crennan.
Well met.
Lita. Gen. They've taken Gen. They've taken our king.
We live another day.
Betrayal at Tempest's Reach. King Greymane has been taken prisoner by Lord Godfrey in Tempest's Reach. He managed to convince 2 of the Eastern Lords to go with his plan. The fool seems to think he can strike a deal with the Forsaken by turning Greymane over to them. Listen carefully, Lita. We need to resolve this with as little bloodshed as possible. This potion will allow you to sneak in undetected. We need you to assassinate the traitorous lords before this gets out of hand. Alright, we are heading into Tempest's Reach, which is our final quest before we are able to take Lord Walden's top hat and learn it to our account. So all of our characters can wear a top hat if they would like to. So now we need to drink the potion so we can be invisible. I imagine the normal rogue stealth would have worked fine as well, but nonetheless, it's a quest item, so we'll use it. Just need to be careful of the dogs in the area because they can see through the stealth. Okay, there is Lord Walden defeated. The final person we need to deal with is Baron Ashbury, who's just here. Like so. Now we can head back, hand in the quest, and earn our top hat. Betrayal at Tempest's Reach. I wish it could have been avoided, Lita. Let us ensure this is resolved without any further bloodshed. There we are. So we have earned Lord Walden's top hat as a cosmetic item, meaning it's been added to our collection. And now you can see how it looks equipped on a Worgen form. And we recently also unlocked the ability to switch between human and Worgen form, so now you can also see it in humanoid form, kind of fashion it a little bit better. And that is where I'm going to leave our Worgen mini playthrough episode for now. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like to see how the rest of the Worgen storyline plays out in the same kind of playthrough style like this video, do let me know in the comments down below. But otherwise, thank you as always for joining me, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye!